Hello, hello. So, I was debating whether I wanted to do some more Hollow Knight, more specifically the Pantheon of Hollow Nest, or Sekiro, but didn't have the most time today, and honestly Sekiro sounded more fun, so here we go. Be starting a new... I've played this game many a times, but while there is unfortunately not a lot of diversity in the ways you can play, there are some fun things you can do. We're going to be doing one of those this time. How violent. I usually skip this cutscene, but it's not bad. I like it better than DS3's cutscene, which just felt like a rip-off of DS1's within its own franchise. Hard to compare it to DS2's. This fight's kind of cool. This is actually pretty cool. And it's a good introduction to some of the players you'll be seeing. This swordsman here especially. Also has a decent setup for the tone of the game. Plus it just looks good. Like there's no denying that. I don't feel like it sets up all that much for themes of the game or presents anything unique or interesting. It's just a good opening. Skipping quite a bit there, but okay. I'm going to turn up the voices a little bit. That's a nice enough intro. And I might just be a bit biased to DS1s, but that would be nothing new. Man, Ishin, your stupid rebellion lasted 20 years? That is not a civilization that will stand the test of time. Let's see, Ashina wrest control of their land back. And it lasts for 2 decades. And it's already falling apart. Clearly, they were not prepared for the whole... Well, it's not an empire or anything. I was going to say building an empire, but this isn't actually Civ. They're prepared to actually create an independent state, as small as it is. Warring states, period, or not. Yes, we are going to be doing this in Japanese, because, frankly, I think the game is just better that way. The English dub has its moments, but Most of the voice acting in the Japanese, I just feels better. There's a lot of voices in the English that feel incredibly flat. And while some of the voices in Japanese are also a bit flat, there's some pretty good ones. Not as many just standout bad ones. Plus, I don't think I'd notice the bad ones as much. And honestly, speaking in flat Japanese voice in the sort of samurai thing is kind of fitting, so. Plus, aesthetically just feels better. X. This is my first time ever playing on controller. I usually do keyboard and mouse. We'll see how this goes. Okay. Sound. Probably try that for the moment. See how that does. Okay. Relearning the controls is going to be interesting. All my muscle memory is just flat out gone. Okay, so that's crouch.
特に稼などしておりませんが、構わぬのでしょうか。大事ない。刀もなく、気力すらない。
Sure thing.
奴はもうただのふぬけよ。
Just you wait. Now, usually because I'm impatient, I just run across this whole place without doing this the proper way, but let's have some fun. It's been a while since I did this the proper way.
今宵も月に照らされておる。巫女様はまた月明かりで書をお読みかの。そうじゃな。まだほんの子供というに、囚われとは気の毒なことじゃ。ああ、源一郎様も何かお考えがあるのだろうが。
Gasp. Genichiro. The tutorial section here is alright. There's none of these games where I just feel like there's a standout tutorial. Man, I'm gonna have some adjusting to having crouch be press the stick in. I'm used to it on a button. Oh, there's gonna be some adjusting here. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. And keyboard and mouse. I'm trying to remember, actually. What was ledge hang again? Did I have it to G? I don't know. This just feels a little bit easier. We'll see how I adjust. Alright. Let's get into the game. Your face looks a little weird, Lord Kuro. I don't know if it's just me, but... Cold. That is a very... I mean, this is a nice little moment. You can see... Show not tell, some non-verbal indications of character and relationship there. It's nothing groundbreaking, but... This is the thing that's easier said than done sometimes. I wish my eye would stop twitching, though. I don't know why it does this, but sometimes it does. I'm assuming it has to do with staring at screens too long. Except sometimes it does it even when I don't stare at screens. Maybe that's when I'm staring at books. Paper. Who knows? Kusabi Maru, a katana given by Kuro, the divine heir. An heirloom of the Hirata family, a cadet branch descended from Ashina. You know, that never entirely registered with me. So the Hiratas are a cadet branch descended from the Ashina. Unsought loss has found its way back into the hands of the wolf. The name Kusabimaru beseeches a shinobi's role is to kill, but even a shinobi must not forget mercy. A mantra the blade itself may manifest. I never really paid attention to this. A shinobi's role is to kill, but even a shinobi must not forget mercy is... I mean, kind of telling you something about the game. It is a minor theme of the game, certainly, is that not to forget it, your human heart, if you will.
Okamiよ。傷を負っておるようだな。そうだ。そなたにこれを託そう。薬水のひょうたんだ。これで傷を癒してくれ。さて。
I do like Wolf's voice a lot in Japanese.
その後大事はないか。
その後とは。
あの世のこと。
I think you could argue it's not even that much better than the English one. It's just it fits better to me at least. I don't know, hearing the English voice in this setting just feels off. Yeah, secret passage. Will do.
見つけたらそうだな。足の歯笛で合図をくれるか。ほら昔聞かせてくれたであろう。こうピーッとな。
ピー。
その音を頼りにそなたの元へ行こう。狼よ。そなたからも何かあるのか？
I will not give Kuro's charm.
そうか。では頼んだぞ。
Kuro's charm is something that you unlock the ability to remove once you've completed the game once. It essentially, giving away the charm creates hard mode, if you will. Pellet. Idle. Whee! Should I use it like a good boy, or do I go on no health? Yes, when you don't have the charm... I'm trying to remember all the effects. One of them is that if you don't perfectly deflect everything, you take chip damage. Enemies are stronger, definitely do a lot more damage, may or may not have more health. Alright, okay, so right mouse, lol. RB? Okay. Okay. This game feels very viscerally satisfying. It's still gonna take me a bit of time to get used to controller, but the viscerally satisfying nature of the game cannot be argued. This is gonna be left. And just muscle memory. Right stick? Wait, did I already do that? Shit, that's not what I want. I feel like I did that automatically. That one feels kind of universal, though. Oh, did you just miss? You loser. I am dead. Can't remember if it gives me my health back when I die here. It does. Okay. Well, that was kind of funky. Sekiro would be like that, though. That was gonna take some time. We'll manage. We'll manage. I'm feeling that I was in the middle of a thought at one point that I've forgotten. That's not what you want. I am gonna definitely struggle with muscle memory a bit here. At the very least, this will not mean I have muscle memory problems with that fight that was supposed to lose fight versus Genichiro. God, knowing... Oh, right, I was gonna talk about hard... yeah, hard mode in this game. It's not bad. I've tried it... I did ones with the, I ran both the Bell Demon and the No Kuro's Charm. I'm not gonna bother reading those. I'm gonna get hit. That was it off. Okay. It don't matter. Fistful of Ash. Right. I tried it once, and it was fun enough, I guess. I enjoyed the challenge to some degree, but there were some parts of it that were just complete horseshit. Owl was the worst. You tell him. They get orders to guard it because of me or something else. We will never know. Actually, it doesn't make a lot of sense why, again, Scrubby Row is going to be there anyways, but I guess, to be honest, it doesn't have to make sense. When I first played this game, I was a bit down on it because I was like, the story... Oh. Whatever. Muscle memory is really a thing. Yeah, I was like, man, the story is kind of basic. I like the weird, convoluted stuff in the other games, but I was also looking for sort of a DS1 or, hell, even a more of a Bloodborne style where there's themes, powerful themes with the story. So it's interesting worlds, all sorts of... I don't actually know what I was looking for. What I was really looking for was DS1 was great, was interesting world with a surprisingly deep narrative, largely shrouded in... Oh, is it? Maybe shrouded in mystery is wrong. Largely obfuscated, shall we say, that needs to be ferreted out with strong side characters that also add to the themes of the game. Or at least Bloodborne, which was kind of just DS1 light. Or still interesting world, obfuscated story, solid themes. But Bloodborne had some cool things with its themes, like... Indeed. Honestly, Rally, I think. Rally, besides just being an amazing mechanic, tied really well into Bloodborne's themes. Whee! And this game... that was sort of what I was focusing on, and not getting it, I was like, oh, this game's story, and it's not very good. The game's fun, but the rest is, But when I came back to it later, with not having those expectations, I grew to enjoy it more for what it is and what it has. God, you extra. Although in the realm of extra anime boys, he's honestly not even that extra. This game's definitely a bit anime. FromSoft has been growing more anime by the game. And while I'm not the biggest fan of the trend, I think this game at least does it better. I like anime in Kurosawa better than anime in Dark Souls. So we're gonna pull a pro anti-Genichiro strat here. Check this shit out. Dead. Can't cut off my arm now. But oh dear, the story doesn't progress if you don't cut your arm off. Yeah. This is something you can do if you're fighting Genichiro and you want to beat him on this, and you're failing. Which we're not going to do. I've beaten him here before. I don't really care to do it this time. I've done it. I've made 50% success rate after finishing the game. My own muscle memory gets in the way sometimes. I'm used to having the Makiri counter. And will often dash into his stabs. Though that will not be an issue with this controller as much. On the other hand, I will often also not have actual muscle memory for the rest of his stuff. For example, I tried to dash that instead of jumping, because I forget how to jump. Ow. Dead. Oh well. Oh no, my arm! No! Whether you win or not here makes absolutely no difference. You just get a different cutscene. And that's it.
忍びとてこの程度か。ミコはもらっていくぞ。
Your arm still gets cut off. Nobody mentions it again. There's no reward. It's a bit lame. So we're not going to work too hard to do so. You also need to not hit the dash button when trying to jump. We're going to have to work on that. Also have to get more used to sprinting again as well. It's not a bad thing to take the game and... Well, not as a new player again, but... as a bit less experienced than I would be otherwise. And I'm sure it'll wear off quickly, but for the moment it's kind of novel. He's alive, and he has a prosthetic arm. How the fuck it works, no one knows. Doesn't matter. The point isn't necessarily to make sense. It's more about the atmosphere. And in some cases, the themes. More so the atmosphere. That's something I think... Oh yes, the shinobi prosthetic. The artificial arm of a shinobi, passed down by the sculptor. A replica of a human arm, fitted with a variety of mechanisms, apparently designed with modification in mind. While it bears a number of cuts and is stained thick with blood and oil, it has been impeccably maintained. I think the thing to appreciate with this game, more so than anything else, besides the combat, which is A+, chef's kiss. The atmosphere to this game is really incredible. Visually, the music... And like the story, I feel like the story, the plot line and all is not interesting. But it does feel quite good with... What are these here for? It does feel fit in quite well with the atmosphere of the game. Oh, right, these things. Right. Shit.
お前さん、名は何という。その目、さしずめ、任に敗れた狼といったところか。言えぬ。それが忍びじゃな。 わしは仏を掘らなきゃなら。お前さんはお前さんで。
Yes, this is the sculptor. He just carves the Buddha.
何故俺はここにいる。
ただ拾ったのよ。屍かどうかもわからぬものを野良犬に食わせてやることもあるまい。
どれほど俺は眠っていた。
He dragged you quite a ways too, but
ずいぶん経つぞ。
そうか。
じゃが主の主はまだ生きておるぞ。アシナの城で囚われとなっている。だがすぐにもその血を利用され
what
ちま
does
うだ
that
ろう。
mean?
お前さんを見ればその価値は十分にあろうというものじゃ。
Cryptic stuff that you're not entirely supposed to understand yet.
このひどい腕。
You might notice he's also missing a left
そいつ
arm.
は忍び義手。石腕の狼にはおあつらえ向きの牙じゃろうて。仏を掘るには無用でな。お前さんにくれてやる。
Yes, all he does here is sit in this temple carving Buddhas.
ただ失った腕を補うもんじゃない。人具を見つけたら
His arm was very obviously used to be his,
人具だと。
but he has no use for it
このからくり。
anymore.
察しがいいな。人具を持ってきたら忍び義手に仕込んでやる。そうすりゃその義手のありがたみがわかるじゃろうさ。喋りすぎたな。いい気な。
巫女様の血が利用されるとはどういうことだ。
わしも詳しいことなど知らん。ただ流院、そう呼ばれる特別な血があるという。主の主はそれを持っておる。
それゆえ巫女様は
付け狙われる。お前さんの体が妙なことになっておるのもそのせいかもしれぬな。
That's a lot more straightforward.
お前さんもそうじゃが、この荒れ寺にはおかしな客がまあまあ訪れる。寺を出て右手の広場にもそうした者が一人おる。妙なことになっておる者同士、気が合うかもしれんな。
Just because we're weirdos doesn't necessarily mean we'll get along. We will not be talking to... I guess this was added relatively recently. People can leave behind remnants. Either showing a way they died or showing them doing something cool or whatever. Let's watch one. This guy ran around a bit, stood still, played with his items, stood still, attacked, blocked a bit, stood still. What the hell is the point of this? I feel like there's a lot of remnants, though. Utterly pointless. You know what's else utterly pointless? You. Fuck you. I do not need Senior Tutorial again. We'll visit him later. But for now, he is just Senior Tutorial. Yes, they're bonfires, we get it. How do I do this? Left trigger. Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Fails controls whenever a spider can. Can't remember what to press to do anything. So I'm trying to figure out something that rhymes there, but I couldn't come up with anything except caress, and that just does not fit. You can now instantly travel. Wow. Gee golly, mister. Really? Over there. Two, three, done. Hold X. As you can just vacuum all the loot into yourself like that. It's kind of fun. Oh, come on! Can't you see I'm trying to be fancy here? Brutal. Man, the brutality in this game is quite something. It fits very well, though. And you're supposed to jump on this guy from above, but you know what? Who needs that shit? I'm not even gonna watch you die. I did not mean to do that. Or rather, I hit the button to do that, but it was not what I intended to do. Yeah, this is gonna take some time. God, the grappling hook was such an ingenious feature, though. It feels so good to use. Who needs Spider-Man when you have Sekiro? Man, we're going slow, though. Compared to how I knew how to normally play this. It's fine, it's just the slightest bit weird is it all. Feels a bit strange to be taking this game like this again. Just a little bit, though. Yeah, so a little sugar. We are probably not going to actually be using any of the sugars, but nice enough to have. They are definitely good to use, I just don't. There's a lot of stuff that's good to use that I don't. For example, for Monster Hunter players, possibly just World, because that's the only one of the more recent ones I've played. I eventually turned into a bow main. I eventually turned into a bow main playing World. Started Dual Blades, because that's what I had done in 4 Ultimate, I think it was. But I basically never used coatings, almost ever. I think the only time I remember using coatings was for Kulve Taroth and Xeno Jiva. Or not Xeno, Safi Jiva. The community ones, if you will. Things where it wasn't just me. I think even then, mainly Kulve Taroth. It's a giant black cock! Original joke! Never made that joke before. I was actually surprised how many people, when watching Sekiro streams after it first came out, how many people didn't go for the joke. I was like, you're missing out on an opportunity for really basic comedy here. That was very funny, though. Dogs are still bullshit. Let's see if we can... Yeah. I don't like stagger. Fuck you. How do you use items? Wait. How the fuck do you use items? That was a prosthetic. That was that. I would assume it's Y, but Y is doing nothing. Maybe it's one of the directional keys? We'll rest and... I should have maybe read the tutorial messages. Oh dear. Okay, it's up. Those are cycle... What's Y? Ah, cycle prosthetic tool. Okay. Let's see if I can remember that. So I actually meant to jump there, but whatever, it works. If you hit them first, dogs are one-shots, but they don't drop loot, and they don't exactly give a lot of EXP, and God. Shuriken Wheel. Mechanical device made by the mechanical genius Dogen. Can be fit into this shinobi prosthetic to become a working prosthetic tool. While it is palm size, a surprising number of shuriken can fit into the shuriken wheel, as the edges were designed for stacking. A fine example of what can be achieved when one matches mechanical finesse with a shinobi's talent. Fitting prosthetic tools. Well, that's a little fucky there, but okay. If I remember correctly, yes. We'll deal with that in a moment. First, let's pay a visit. This guy over here. He is a mini-boss. But you can take out one... Oh, right. Perilous attacks. I know all about them. It's just remembering how to... Getting the muscle memory for dealing with them. Oh. That does not jump, but okay. Okay, that was a reason. No. Okay. Getting there. A loose prayer bead. They increase vitality. Seeds from which healing waters continuously spring forth. Give to Emma to increase the maximum uses of the healing lore. The twisted water medicinal waters was known throughout Ashiana since long ago. It is the extraordinary healer Dogen, pupil Emma, who discovered this self-replenishing nature of this seed. Yes, it's basically, hey, there's the thing, it's a seed, magic water comes out of it for all of eternity, just in endless supply. Just fucking use it. Don't think too much about it. This game is magical realism, I believe, is the literary term. Or there's a realism to it, but it's also kind of, just magic hand-waving. Anyways, you can fall. It'd be a lot easier to fall if the game didn't make you jump to fall. Let me run off an edge if I damn well please, thank you very much. Don't try to save me from my own inner stupidity. We're gonna pellet up. I'm gonna try not to just die yet. We're gonna continuously fail movement because we are terrible. Gonna get this bitch. You ain't nothing. Once again, I intended to jump there, but it works out, so it's fine. Now, normally you're not supposed to come from this, do this in the direction where... Oh, come on, I was hitting the left button. You're normally supposed to take this in a different way than we're doing, but... We do not do things as they are. As far as I'm concerned, the right path, or the normal path, is pointlessness. Plus, this is a lot easier. Because normally there's the big can dude that we killed a bunch. You're gonna come through here and you're gonna be like, oh, there's a dude. Wait a minute, was there a guy out here? No, so you're gonna see there's a guy there. You're probably gonna like, oh, I'm gonna grapple up. Oh, I'm gonna grapple over there. Oh, I'm gonna miss entirely. You grapple around there and then you jump from above and you're like, rah, death blow. And then you get shot by a giant cannonball and it hurts a lot and you die. That's about how it's supposed to go. We don't like that. Shallow breathing. Somebody there? No. Oh. As you can see, bandage over eyes. Also fucking dying. And he seems to recognize us by our voice.
平田家の老頭だった。どうかそこのあばら屋の老婆の様子見てやってくれぬか。私の母なのだが狂ってしまい、もはや誰が誰だか分かっておらぬ。
His old mother.
おお、伊之助か、せがれよ。若様を見なかったかの。
I'm not sure.
せがれではない。
伊之助、またそのような。そなたはわしがおかしくなったというが。 さすがにせがれを間違えるわけなかろう。まあよい。せがれよ。この鈴をそなたに
I don't think it matters which way you answer. She gives you the bell regardless. And asks you to give it to the divine heir. Or for the divine heir. They used to be vassals of the Hirata at the Hirata estate. Hirata being the divine heir, Miko-sama, the little boy, Kuro, whatever you want to call him. That's his family. Young Lord's bell charm. Bell charm received from an old woman, who asked that it be offered to Buddha. Bell charms protect their holders through Buddha's divine protection. If one finds himself the owner of another's bell charm, offering it to Buddha on their behalf is common courtesy. A sculptor at the dilapidated temple can advise on how it should be offered. This opens up an optional area. We'll get to it later. Murder first. And you can find all sorts of riches in here. By which I mean a small amount of gold, but it's something. This type can be killed by just spamming attack. But they are fairly aggressive and can be actually rather dangerous. This is a gun loser. Excuse me. There we go. Ah! Let's see if we can't do a bit of stealthing. Or we could fail utterly, that's fine too. This jerk here tends to be a bit passive. And can also ultimately be brought down by just spamming. That was a little slower than I'd like. That's a guy you actually have to deflect against, but it's not too hard. I don't think they put a guy up there right now. But let's check anyways, because being Spider-Man is fun. And we can get... Alright. That was a bit poor. What? I'm being a bit slow on my defense. Unfamiliar control scheme aside. No. Shit. I wanted to sneak attack this jerk, because they're a pain in the ass to fight normally. Especially when shit... But you can't just let them thrash out like this. And then, clonk, clonk, finish. Still, they're a bit dangerous. So I'm still very much getting used to the controller, sadly. We'll get there eventually. And if not, I can always just swap back to keyboard and mouse. Or if it starts bothering my thumb. Man, if it's not one thumb being bothered, it's the other. Gamer's thumb is real. I missed anything? I feel like I've missed something. And we're not aiming to completely 100% this. It would be nice to at least get most everything. Ah, right. Oh, and of course, I should not forget, even if I do not intend to buy anything from him yet. Ah, these points are such a pain sometimes. Oh, how'd I miss this? Unless there's a dude over there. Didn't mean to do that, but okay. No! Shoot. There's another way to him, but I'm supposed to come from around there. That was pointless. There we go. Yeah, come around here and voila!
Gokuyo, ikaga ka ne?
供養。
さよう。死者たちのご冥福のため品を売っておる。見たところあんたも
You saying I kill people?
殺しておるな。
'Cause you'd be right.
ご供養していきなされよ。
The Memorial Mob, he sells stuff, including Robert's firecrackers. You know what? We'll just buy it from him while we're here. We have some coin purses. Sell 2 of these to start with. Sell 4 of these. I don't intend to use any. 3 of these. I don't intend to use any either. Buy the firecrackers.
その人具この辺りで使うでないぞ。カラスどもがビビっちまう。奴らいかに賢くとも。 鳥獣には違いないからの。
It is true, crows are quite smart.
ひどいことはせぬものじゃ。
But leaps and bound on other animals is a bit of a stretch. The Memorial Mob do like their crows, though. Alright, if I... Actually, to be honest, if this keeps bothering, if my thumb keeps getting worse like this, I'm gonna have to switch back to keyboard and mouse anyways. I don't know why it's being so bad right now. It was fine earlier. Ah! What better time to try keyboard, to bring out the old keyboard and mouse again than we're at the ogre. I'm just going to set the controller down for a moment. We'll come back to it later if needs be. Give me a second. Where is... There is. Strapping on the old wrist braces. Because my thumb isn't the only thing that gets fucked up by prolonged computer use. Right. How does this work again? Right, that was crouch. Sprint. attacks, item use.
おんや、見
Gee.
覚えのある顔だ。ああ、忍びの旦那だ。いや、あの世以来ですね。
That might. Wait a minute.
あ
Okay.
の世とは何だ。
あ、旦那、
remember.
覚えてねえんですか？
ああ、
へえ、なるほど、覚えてねえと。なあ旦那、あっしはあんたに会ったことがある。その頃は賊をやってやした。
He's very brash about
それ
it.
から足を洗って物売りを始めたんでさ。
Sure.
が、銭がない。銭がないから品もない。そこで旦那、あっしにちーとばかし銭を用立てていただけやせんか。それを元手に旦那にもきっと役立つ品を仕入れやす。それからおまけにあの世のこと話して差し上げやしょう。どうです？
That's a pretty good
悪
deal.
い話じゃねえで
It's
し
a
ょ
good investment. Unfortunately, you don't have enough money. Also, shoot, how, okay, F. Press F to grapple. Unfortunately, it does not actually change the, button prompts, because FromSoft games are stupid. How the hell, wait. Whatever. PC ports are not the best with these games. And I'm still fucking up. Okay, that's lock on. What was eavesdrop? Why?
赤鬼め、縛るだけでは不安じゃのう。戦の前に我らが襲われてはしょうもないわ。
There's a big old logo over there.
となれば
Only choices use fire.
赤目は火を恐れる。そういうお達し。
Yes, there's a...
お達しね。変わっちまったな。
It does indeed. Are you fucking serious? Now there is a way to get a sneak attack on this guy, the ogre. Involves using Ungo's sugar. It's also possible to come back, or in fact, it's recommended, honestly, to come back here after you have the fire prosthetic. Hell, it'd probably be a good idea to get another gourd. Actually, we'll do that. Getting another gourd is actually a pretty good idea. We'll also purchase information while we're at it.
あの世と。
あ、よし、その
銭だ。
旦那、ありがてえ。
話してくれ。
ああ、もちろんでさ。あの世、平田の屋敷に押し入りやした。平田はご存知の通り。
He talks like he was the boss, but
真剣な野党なんざ。
not so sure about that.
帰り討ちだ。
We'll see.
けど、先だっての戦の折だ。若い、ほとんど出払ってたんでさ。そこを狙って押し入りやして、そんで火をつけ奪った。その最中でさ、旦那と会ったのは。旦那は何かを探してた。
He is, in fact, you can tell he's not the boss because he doesn't know why they knew about the timing to attack. He was petty thief. Among a bunch of bandits. I suppose so.
旦那、お題さえいただけりゃ他にも知りたいことをお教えできるかもしれやせん。ぜひ。
I don't have enough sense.
旦那。
Actually, has,
いただいた銭、旦那。
I will. Actually, has dialogue for that. That's cool. I do not know how I missed that. Shut up. And it fucks off. I'm gonna travel back to the dilapidated temple. I'm gonna have a little chat with Emma.
誠に息を吹き返したのですね。流因の力、この目でしかと見ることになると。
何者だ？
エマと言います。猿お方に仕えるクス氏です。
猿お方とは？
すみませぬが、主の命にて明かせません。ただ、あなたを助けよと、そう仰せつかっています。信用しろとは言いません。
A mysterious master has sent her to help
私
me.
は主の命を果たさね
Who
ばな
could
ら
this
ない。
mysterious master be?
あなたが持っている薬水のひょうたん、それはもと
She
も
was the
と
one who
私
made the
が
healing
作り上げ
gourd.
たものです。
She
ク
has
ス氏として
already been mentioned as the apprentice of Dogen. Though whether she was mentioned as such by
この
name, I
ひょ
don't
うたん、
remember.
お主が作ったというのか？
はい。元は九郎様のために
Don't know
あ
why
なた
he
が
needed
譲
it,
り
but
受け
hey.
ていたのですね。気づいているかもしれませんが、このひょうたんの薬水はおのずと湧き出します。
It's magic.
尽きたとて少し休めばまた満ちるでしょう。
クス師としての助けとは？
ひょうたんの種をお持ちください。
種だと？
はい。薬水はひょうたんの種より湧き出します。新たな種を加えれば薬水の傘が増すでしょ
More heals
う。
are
手
good.
に入れたら持ってきてください。
わかった。ひょうたん、
はい。それをこちらに、種をひょうたんに植え付けます。よし。これで薬水の傘が増すでしょ
Mm-hmm.
妙な薬だ。
う。妙ですか。
It is strange.
悪い気はしません。貢献があれば奇妙と思うことでも勇んですべし。
Indeed.
それが我が師道元の教えですので。
そうか。
ひょうたんの種を見つけたならば
That's probably a good thing because there's a lot of strange shit in this place.
薬水のかさ増しをしましょう。
Ashi, now the land is very old. You don't have any.
一つ頼みがあります。
なんだ？
少し顔を見せてください。
何？
What?
白いあざ。これは生まれつきですか？
No.
いや、
ならば流因を受けた者に現れるということか。あるいは兆しか。
もう良いか。
ああ、十分です。無礼をしました。すみません。白いあざは生まれつきではない。ならば、あるいは。
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
おや。
ああ、この鈴だろう。仏に備えろと渡された。
あなたにゆかりのある鈴でしょうか。ならば、仏師殿と話してみてはどうですか。仏のことならば、あの人が詳しいでしょう。
He does spend all his time carving them after all. Okay, travel. Stairway. Let us fight the big bastard. This fight's a pain in the ass. I don't like the ogre fight. I'm not at all a fan of the ogre fight. I think it teaches you some bad habits. And it's also, for this point in the game, this fight is really hard. Get some damage in here. Try to make this go away again. I thought it was left click that made it go away. I wonder if it's because I have the controller plugged in. You can grapple onto that to do that cool little bit there, but... Oh, come on! Okay. I find dodging actually to be more effective against this guy than anything else. Oh, I'm stupid. Shouldn't have used a guard, but it didn't heal me up enough. Then we're gonna get minor cutscene. Take my blood and live again. Yeah. I think that's enough HP to not die. He does a lot of posture damage. And this that grab, as you just saw, is really fast. Now, if we'd done the cheese sneak the first time, we wouldn't have gotten as much damage in the front. But if we had, he'd be dead. And that was not correctly timed. I'm gonna try show deflecting. Oh, you can do it. We can also just dodge and do damage and get about as much posture damage. Plus take down his HP, which they haven't told you yet, but taking down the HP is, come on, it's so fast. He also tracks really hard. We're gonna pellet up. That, by the way, another thing that's really bullshit. Okay. Man, these pellets are slow. I should have gone for the dodge, but it was a little unsafe. We need to do another kick. We should get away because... Okay, got him. No full deaths, so it doesn't matter. But yes, the game tells you when it gives that it's like, hey, you want to dodge grabs with the dash. Well, when he does that lunge there, that's not I mean, it is a grab, but that's a sweep. You can't dodge it with a dash. I tried many times, and because of my attempts, I lost many times in my first fight against this guy. Because if you try to dodge that as a grab, single frame, upwards of 90 degrees to grab you. And obviously he does 90% of your damage with his grabs because I don't fucking know why. The ogre is, at this point in the game, an extremely questionable addition. Also, usually before I fight the ogre, I actually go up here and deal with this guy. Because if you get too close to him, he joins in the fight, and then the fight becomes very nasty. But I just didn't come near it, so it was fine. Or at least, didn't come too near it. You can also lead the... just run away from the ogre, maybe come over here, hide a bit, or go all the way back here, whatever. And when it loses interest in you, you can chase it down and get it in the back. There's a few ways, or we could just have shot in the face with a flamethrower when we had the flamethrower. There's a few ways to take it on. But honestly, it's just a really bullshit fight. And this way is locked. I suffered a bit from having the ogre and just ramming my head into it for hours on my first attempt. My first play session of this game was not very fun. And the ogre really didn't help there. Alright, we have some time before that guy gets over here. Ah, but we didn't get into the bushes in time before Gunboy saw us. Shit. What was... Okay. Now we can sneak over here. Catch Gunboy. Oh, we've been seen. Catch him. Unfortunately, it's the bell ringer that saw us. Uh-oh. I don't like knockdown. I'll probably talk about my hatred for the knockdown and stagger mechanics at some point. I am dead. They're all like, Fuck, those guys are still eyes on me. Psych, not dead. Fuck you. Because actually, never mind. That's a spoiler. Oh, that was a vacuum. Man, for how... It hasn't even been that long since I played this game. My muscle memory is surprisingly confused. Simple enough. This jerk over here is going to run into us. We just take him out in 3 minutes. Vacuum in the loot. We go for a sneak attack on the boss. Because why fight the boss fair and square? Not enough people, I feel like, play this game like a shinobi. You're a frickin' ninja, play like one. Stealth in this game is really overpowered. Oh, come on. Oh! No. I can jump off their heads after dodging a sweep. My deflect timing was not the best there, but it didn't matter too much. Kirby. 3 of 4. Yes, I don't... The one... I guess it's sort of 2 mechanics, but there's sort of a stagger mechanic and a knockdown mechanic in this, and I don't like them. There's a number of attacks that'll do it. I don't know all the triggers for it or whatever, but... Also, we're going to read this real quick. Turn back if you value your life. You can't behead the headless. Our swords and pikes did nothing. Well, now. And this is a little, I'm not going to call it a jumping puzzle exactly, but it's... Can you see the way? But yes. When you're knocked down, you can't deflect. Trying to deflect will do absolutely nothing for you. And when oftentimes you're in the middle of spamming deflects for attacks, or even just trying to time it, let's say you miss an attack in a combo, you get knocked down, you're trying to hit deflect to get the next one, and it takes at least my brain a second to realize, oh, I can't deflect. At which point, I've usually been hit again. It's very easy to straight out, especially when the enemies just do a humongous amount of damage, like in hard mode, or New Game Pluses, or against some bosses, it's really easy to just die. Also, we're not going to be going down there yet. It's way too spooky. I mean, look at that fucking thing. And the thing told us, hey, don't do that, so we're going to listen. But while we're here... But yes, that's knockdown. And the way you get out of knockdown, he's just like... is it jump? Do you have to jump or dash? I think you can... I know dash works. I can't remember if jump works. But you sort of just roll out of it with those. But trying to deflect does nothing. Whereas stagger, you can't roll out of. I'm not sure if you can jump. You have to. And you can roll. You can't attack at the very least. Get an attack and you don't realize you've been staggered. That's a right pain in the ass. Is there anyone in here? No. And it opens from the other side. So it's really just something where it really breaks the flow of combat and can make you take damage that feels cheap just because at least I can't react quite fast enough to a lot of it. So I am not a fan. I am really not a fan. I mean, it's like, oh, good. And it's like I said, I just don't react fast enough. There's only so much getting good I can do there. I mean, I've gotten through the game many times, including on hard mode. I've done all sorts of stuff in this game. It's manageable still. But it's a right pain in the ass. Did you seriously just... Fuck you following me. Oh yeah, I forgot to rest. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. I just feel like it's very disruptive to the flow of combat in a lot of ways. And I also don't like the when you staggered. I'll point it out next time I get staggered. The coming out of it animation, I just think is dumb. It wasn't that spooky. We are not going to take this next part the way I think you're intended to take it as a newer player. We're going to take it the way you do as an experienced one. Oh my god, giant snack! How frightening. It's attacking! Truly terrifying. It's back. Horror of horrors. Now it can potentially see you here, or at least start to see you, but you can hide behind the ice. It's getting closer. It's getting... Oh no! Die! I is dead. Surprise. Big nut. Watch out for its giant flailing bloodied head. That's a lot of blood. Run for your goddamn life, because it's not done. First time I was here, I died because I failed that grapple there. And then it'll slam its head into there, I think? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, it gets up and fucks off. Bye. I don't even know why you were there. It's not like it even tries to eat you or anything. It just bashes you with its face. No idea. You can get a start on a minute. What was drop down? That was climb. Shit. If only they told you what your actual controls were. No, that would be far too difficult. Anyways, we have another golden seed. I think we have more dialogue with Emma. We'll fight the boss and then head into the memory. Fight the next boss, I should say. I don't think that's necessarily the way you're supposed to take this, but...
変わったことがあったのですか？どのような？
俺は
I died.
ひとたび死んだ。だが、巫女様の声が聞こえ、気づけば、再び生きていた。
ひとたび死に、今再び生きている。
That's what I just said, Emma.
ならば、それは改正でしょう。
改正。
九郎様の流因の巫女の力と言われています。改正の力を与えられた者は死してなおよみがえる。 幾度でも。
バカな。
はい。おかしなことです。ですが、現に起きている。また変わったことがあれば知らせてください。改正の力が何も見返りを求めぬとは思えぬのです。
Spooky.
狼殿。
If we get to the point where the cost is revealed, which we might not.
おや。
Yeah.
なるほど。
Then I'll talk about that as a mechanic then, but in the meantime, this is where I get off. Ah, Half-Life. Ah, Half-Life indeed. Whatever. Let us proceed. Oh, that almost forgot. We can eavesdrop from here.
木陰かわいそうなオラの馬子よ。奴らマクチクなんぞで脅かしよって。死んじまったな。死んじまったよ。
Sucks, don't it? But then again, you're dead too, so. And so are a lot of people who would turn out. Why or how? Who can say? We're certainly doing our part in adding to the number. We'll see the memory later. Lots more dead. Oh, fuck off. I should have known. We make like a shinobi? I'm in the open. Gunfire, don't want to be here. Excuse me? Okay. Another gunman over there. Oh, that guy saw me again. Lock on, I swear to God. Those guys can also be dealt with by just continuous attacking. Also can be murdered in such a way. We're gonna deal with this guy shinobi style. Dead. Okay. Not the cleanest, but we managed. There's not a ton here. By the way, for people who haven't played this game, this is what I'm doing right now is not what I would recommend. I haven't even gotten the level ups yet. Or prosthetic jewels.
いかに力を得るとでも痛みも恐れも忘れ戦い続けるの。私は人の生き方を歪めたくはないのです。この屍の山を見ろ。もはや尋常の術では。
Where are they? Who's even? I mean, I know they're fighting against the Interior Ministry, but I'm wondering where all the fighting is even going on. Dude, you look like you're 10. Mm-hmm. As we use a gourd, so we're gonna get that back. Yes. The simplest way through this game, which we could have done, would be to go and get, go into the dream, get at least another prayer bead, get some shinobi prosthetics fitted. One in particular, which we've already obtained, but I mean, we don't have any prosthetics actually ready. And then proceed to the next part. And then come back for the boss of the dream after beating this boss, because this boss is a lot easier. We're not going to do that. This guy's English voice actors at one of the cases where the English one's way better than the Japanese one. Oh. I tend to forget about the second. Easy damage. I don't even have the ability to attack after a grapple. Oh, come on. Oh, see, that's knockdown. It's such a pain. Come on. As I start sprinting. One down. Yeah, it would be nice to see. Okay, so I was definitely hitting deflect there, but whatever. That time I wasn't. The timing can be slightly finicky sometimes. Camera can also be kind of finicky sometimes. You okay there? Yeah, this boss is a little funky sometimes. There are advantages and disadvantages to fighting him in the wall. That was stacked. See that? Look how dumb that recovery animation is. I got the wrong range for that, buddy. 9.
Genichiro.
And the horse disappears too. Well, that was a little laggy there. Mechanical barrel that can be can be given to the sculptor to enable prosthetic tool upgrades. It appears to have been made to fit perfectly inside the wrist bone of the shinobi prosthetic. Reinforced claws show to make a shinobi's fang even sharper. And yay, we can now get upgrades to our prosthetic tools. We can see memories, which we should read the this first one. I skipped over a bit too fast. Habit. The battle memory of an extraordinary foe lingering in the mind of the wolf. Immune to the sculptor's idol and confront memories of battles with permanently increased attack power. Gyobu Masataka Oiwa was the keeper of the Ashino Castle Gate. Very informative. There we go. This game can be the slightest bit fucky sometimes. Yeah. Reflections of Strength is just a boss. You can refight bosses. Enhance attack power. Battle memory of an extraordinary foe. Although distant, recollection of such a memory provided sustenance for the wolf. Gyobu Oniwa once led a group of infamous bandits, but was defeated by Ishin, who was so captivated by his show of strength that he took him in as an Ashino warrior. Oniwa would later go on to become Genichiro's most trusted retainer. Just a little interesting bit of story. Not a lot of deep lore to be found in the item descriptions, but there's some. Oh. God, my eye keeps twitching. I don't like it. It does not feel good. Gyobu is not the toughest. Honestly, if you come here after having already completed the dream, he's kind of a pushover. And what's this? You find the departed. You find the memorial. It's an old dude in his raggedy tent. He sells some stuff. He can sell another firecrackers, but... Well, I shouldn't say that. He can sell the firecrackers if he didn't find the first guy. The firecracker prosthetic is especially effective against Gyobu because of his horse. But we didn't bother. He does have a teleport seed. That's a bit more useful, but... As you can see... It's not guaranteed we'll get the money. Although... If I were to sell all my coin purses... I'd get close enough. I don't want to sell confetti. I don't mind selling Ungo's sugar. I never use them. Cord seed. Not sure what they do with the money. Not exactly sure what they are. I don't think they're like grave robbers or anything, but... He is a tall boy. We are saved by our prosthetic. Naming doesn't make a lot of sense if you don't speak Japanese. Which I don't, but I know enough to figure it out. Kind of.
この足名にはネズミが入り込んでおる。うじゃうじゃと我が物顔でな。ネズミもいろいろじゃが、それを片端から切り捨てるのよ。どうやらお主にも人斬りの才がある。その才を磨くのに役立とう。
He seems like such a sweet man.
ネズミ狩りをせぬか。
He's cool though.
承知した。よし、赤炉よ。ならばこれをくれてやる。
You need to meet him. I don't know if you actually need to do his quest or not. I've never tried refusing and seeing what happens. You actually need to meet this guy to progress past a certain point in the game. Ugh. A description of the rats that have snuck into Ashina. The rats, assassins from Senpo Temple. Short stature, wear bamboo hats. A number of rats are looking about, last seen around Ashina Castle Gate. Nope. I like battle aids. Yes, as you can see, he's going around killing people who are invading. I call these guys the pajama ninjas. Used to call them pajama samurais, but they're ninjas. Although one was kicking my ass in a head-to-head fight, I wasn't so sure about that. We'll get there eventually. Their clothing always just look like pajamas to me, though. What's this? A secret. We have 4 prayer beads now. Excellent. Is it sort of good? Okay. This is where it gets really annoying that you have to jump. Also, this random old lady over here.
へえ、あんたが生き残ったのかい。 鬼の行部様もやっと屍になれたかね。
That's not a nice way to talk about him.
けれど何も変わりゃしないよ。戦は続き、屍は積まれ、怨嗟ばかりが満ち満ちる。あんた考えたことがあるかい？
I always assumed it just died with the... Either died with the dead or persisted with the living, but...
ないだろう。
Magical realism land. Well, we'll find out.
だからこそあんたもあやつも
Also, this old lady knows stuff. You don't talk to her a lot, but she knows stuff. It's not entirely clear right now who the him she's referring to even is, though. Anyways. We'll murder this guy for literally no reason. Same with this other guy. Although it might get us to level 5, that wouldn't be bad. If not, not the end of the world. We're going to Homeward Idol, Dilapidated Temple. I sometimes forget you can do that, which is unfortunate, but I always remember in time. God, and I'm back on keyboard and mouse, thank you, thumb. But if I try controller next time, I'm gonna be real funky.
Oh, Kamidono.
Yeah. Let me see if she says anything different.
司祭はまだわかりませんが、あなたの体は世の断りから外れているようです。返事あれば私のところへ来てください。
The rules of your world seem a bit loose. And it probably sounds like I'm complaining about that, but I'm not. I actually really like the magical realism in this game. I think it's fantastic. That's just occasionally fun. I just enjoy sort of poking fun of it sometimes. Because if you step back, if you get too far removed from the atmosphere of the game, it becomes a bit silly. So the atmosphere of this is really important. Which is why it's a damn good thing they absolutely killed it on that front. Shinobi Esoteric Text, a book of secrets that details a variety of techniques employed by shinobi. Grants the ability to learn shinobi-style skills. In this text are the innermost secrets of the shinobi arts, such as attacks performed in the air and hiding one's body to avoid detection. Such moves could never be practiced by samurai. Why not? Because they didn't skill into the correct class skills, because they haven't learned the ways to move their bodies and such, or because they're just scrubs, eh? Maybe they just didn't choose the right class during class selection. Indeed. Learning an esoteric text of a combat style allow your skills to be acquired in the sculptors. Oh, go man, yeah. Oh, jeez. Each enemy defeated provides skill experience. Skill points are acquired once enough experience is gained, which can be spent to unlock skills. Some skills can also be learned by obtaining items or defeating enemies. Amazing. Oh.
忍び騎士は騎馬じゃというだが、任務を仕込むことでその騎馬は形を変えることができるようになる。敵立てならば打ち砕き、素早き敵ならば仕留め撃つ。仕込んだ任務が増えるだけ敵を殺す術も増えるじゃろう。殺す相手なりの殺し方を持つ。そういうことじゃ。
随分と詳しい。
Indeed.
いかんな。いつまでも血生臭いことを言うておるから仏の顔も鬼になるのよ。どれ貸してみろ。運を仕込んでやろう。
It says he cannot make all the sculptures. I haven't said it yet. All the sculptures he make have a face of wrath. He cannot carve a kind-faced Buddha. Let's see if we can get that dialogue out of him. Pull a shuriken loaded into the wheel and launch it at a target at a single flowing motion. Swiftly thrown shuriken damages enemy vitality and posture, particularly against those with a tendency to take to the air. Basically, it hits you in the air and does big damage. Now, can I remember how to swap? F, okay. Not just throw a shuriken. Unleashes an explosive, also fitted with Robert's firecrackers. Crackers. We should remember that. That's something to remember. Unleashes an explosive flash that briefly blinds foes and inflicts posture damage on beast-type enemies. It's a wide frontward field of effect that can impact multiple foes at once. Suitable for temporarily immobilizing enemies and particularly good for scaring beasts. That's why it's good versus Gyobu Masataka Oniwa and his horse.
わしが掘る仏はどうやったって怒り顔だ。業深いものはそうなる。お前さんもいつか掘ってみれば。
Basically, he's done some bad stuff, has a lot of bad karma, and thing kind of fucked up as a result.
そこにある優しい顔の仏様、そいつには妙な真似をするなよ。
Make for prosthetic tools. Talk to him again.
お前さん、面白いものを手に入れたな。それはからくり筒、忍び義手の真となる仕掛けよ。どれ、仕込んでやろう。
この仕掛けで何ができる？
真となるこの仕掛けがあるわ。筒薬と組み合わせ、お前さんの忍び義手の牙をさらに研ぎ澄ますことができる。
筒薬とは何だ？
からくり筒と共に使う鉄のくず、あるいは炎症といったものじゃな。使えそうな筒薬を見つけたら持ってくるといい。
Basically, now you can upgrade your tools if you have the right ingredients. To upgrade, one must own the base tool and also complete any prerequisite upgrades. Old version of the tool can still be used after upgrading, but why would you most of the time? Also costs money. And we don't even have the stuff. Unknown shurikens and firecrackers. Yes, we can't even see what they'll become.
牙の形を増やしたきゃ、せいぜい任務を探すこったな。乗りかかった船じゃ。仕込むことだけはしてやろう。
As we now fit prosthetic tools. Can... So try to remember. R? Those remnants, wait. How did I change prosthetic tools again? T? T. Man. That's inconvenient. Guess I'd gotten used to it though.
チリンチリンと鈴が鳴いてるな。
この古い鈴のことか。老婆が仏様に備えろとそう言っていた。
その鈴、見覚えはあるか？
いや、覚えはない。
鈴の方は違うな。お前さんに何やら言いたいことがあるようじゃ。
なんだと？
鈴を備えてみるといい。そこにある優しい顔の仏様はわしの彫った仏とはわけが違う。誠の仏師が彫られたものだからな。
A true sculptor.
からくりずつ筒薬と組み使えそうな。
Anything else? Nope, not really. Nope. Okay, let's see if we can get a look at one of these guys' faces. You can kind of see that one's a bit angry down at the bottom there. Pretty hard to actually get a look at their faces though, just because camera, the way it works. Let's pray. Oh hey, going alright. Bit tired, but having some fun with Sekiro. Still pretty early on in the game. It's been a while. I tried to use a controller for the first time and started bothering my thumb, so I swapped back to mouse and keyboard. But my muscle memory was also just not there for the controller. It made it kind of interesting. Magic. We're in the past. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. That's kind of not great for a moment there. There's a sculptor here. Or a sculpture. It's a little pointless, though. That sounds fun. And get another vitality over here. I do really recommend Sekiro if you haven't played it. The atmosphere is really amazing to this game, even if I'm not the biggest fan of the story. Like, I think the story is not terrible. It's okay, I guess. I was disappointed when I first started, but I eventually came to realize that, story aside, just the themes and atmosphere to this game are really strong. And kind of make up for it. Also, pretty good soundtrack, not gonna lie. It's not as good as Bloodborne's soundtrack, but it's pretty damn good. Fistful of ash. I totally know what the Dragon Spring pilgrimage is. But it doesn't matter, it was just to tell you, this is 3 years ago. Yes, the power of Buddha magic, we are in the past. Nothing that happens here will actually change what happened in the past exactly. But it will affect us, so... Oh no! Random loser is dead. Yeah. I sometimes forget this little item, not that it even matters, but... Feels bad not to get all the items. If you can remember to get them at least, so... We don't actually want to fight both of those jerks at the same time. It looks like we don't have too much of a choice right now. Oh, maybe we can get them split up. Ah. Uh-oh. Yeah, fighting multiple enemies at the same time is a right pain in the ass. I don't need a tutorial method right now, thanks. It's very easy to just get chain staggered and stun locked when you're fighting multiple foes at once. Dogs are bullshit. You can also just do that, though. Most, honestly, the thing... People say this game is hard. It is at first. Like, there's definitely a pretty sizable learning curve to it. But once you get the hang of it, there's a lot of stuff. Either through spamming attack or spamming deflect. Yeah, Souls games... I mean, some do it, some it's bigger pain than others, but this feels like one of the worst for fighting multiple foes, just because... I don't know, it's... A lot of enemies have a lot of attacks in their combo sometimes. Can attack pretty fast, and everything staggers you to some degree, so it's very easy to just get Ultra Chain stunned. And it's Mikiri counter. We get Mikiri counter every time. You always get Mikiri counter. I don't think you can play this game. Well, no, you can play it, but I would struggle to play this game without Mikiri counter. It's so good, and it becomes so ingrained in your playstyle that it's just... You stop being able to function without it, pretty much. And especially in one of the mini boss of this place, you kind of need it. All right, now the tricky part is seeing if I can get the jump on this guy while fighting the ledge. Yeah, it's the weirdest thing. I don't know why, but dogs are complete bullshit in every single Souls game ever. It's just like, why dogs? Alright, we want Mr. Torch Guy to turn around and leave. But it seems like he's not interested. Yeah, I don't know why Miyazaki apparently just hates dogs or whatever. But they're always just so bullshit. Alright, we got 1v1s now, let's go. Also, I'm going to add something just I find interesting. I'm pretty sure they designed this area first, because this right here is the only actually useful, proper Souls-esque shortcut in the entire game. I can't think of a single exception. We probably could have done this better. I think I forgot about a guy that I could have dropped in on. The advantage of doing this, I get the archer. Camera, please. He's so slow. Except some of his attacks. I don't like these axe guys. They can't be entirely just rushed down, some of them. Did I miss anyone? I actually tend to really struggle in this game versus anything that can tank hits. Especially if it does it unreliably. Like something you can stagger a little bit, but then it'll stop getting staggered. If it does a certain attack. I struggle with those enemies. Because I tend to be very attack happy. I'd say another way, I kind of spam. It's pretty effective though, not gonna lie. Fuck off, dog. This guy who doesn't seem too interested in you. Too busy being, depressed. And then this guy's just off in the corner peeing on the wall. Fuck it. Let me see who else is here. I'm not playing this the fastest, I confess. Oh, I've been spotted. Honestly, when I come through this, when I play this game actually just period, when I'm on and remember how it goes, you can clear a lot of areas just at the speed of light. When you remember where all the enemies are, if you remember where the patterns, you can get a ton of backstabs and stealth kills are. It feels amazing to do it. Uh-oh. I'm being pincered by the dog. Back up to heal. We missed that. Okay. Oh, come on! Alright, we got him. This guy's gonna... He's recovered. Oh, we get him. Still another dog. Camera. We don't feel like dealing with the dog. Ow! Mikiri! Yeah! Mikiri counter's so bad. Alright, night. Thanks for stopping in. see you next time. I'm actually probably gonna... I mean, it's late enough, I probably should be getting to bed soon, but I kind of want to clear the dream first. Or not the dream. The memory. Can't remember if I missed anything houses. Now, there is... I think we already got it. There is a, item in the fire. But yeah, I think we already got it. I forgot to... I was too busy to look at it, so let's look at it really quickly. Wait. Didn't I? It's... Ah, there it is. I went right over it. An iron barrel that spews fire. Can be fitted to a shinobi prosthetic to become a prosthetic tool. It is difficult to control the rage-filled red eyes with the power of man alone. However, a fire-based weapon could be a means of resisting them. They are said to fear fire above all else. Amazing. Keep talking about the red eyes. We don't know very much about the red eyes yet. Just that they are spooky. Oh, almost forgot about him. You tell him. How violent, Mr. Pajama Samurai. How terribly violent. And voila, shortcut. This shortcut is actually useful. It is the only shortcut pretty much in the game. But it is useful if you intend, well, I should say intend to die. You probably, if you're new to this game, you will most certainly die up ahead. But we'll get there.
いや、そこはいい。次に行くぞ。けんど、来ないものでもあるぞ、様に。やめんか。仏様の私のよ。何度言えばわかるんだ、タコが。怒らないでおくれよ、兄貴。タコでごめんよ。
They're fun. I'm sorry my skull's so thick. Skull might be, but your neck ain't. Yeah, call for that. See what good it does do. So visceral. The level of just visceral satisfaction to this game is on the level of Bloodborne. And that's saying something. Now let's not forget. I've occasionally forgotten to actually get this, and that's kind of sad. Especially because this is actually pretty useful. Borderline necessary. A heavy black iron axe used by shinobi. Shinobi axe with the monkey. We'll remember the monkey briefly. Be fitted to the shinobi prosthetic to become a working prosthetic tool. This boorish axe is used less for cutting and more for breaking things with its weight. Once the favored weapon of a shinobi, known as the bounding monkey of the sunken valley, it was lost along with his left arm. Now, who do we know who has lost a left arm and who seems to like smashing things with an axe? I wonder. Also, the giant black cocks. Die. Oh, there's a bunch of them back here. These sharks can actually be quite dangerous. Potentially. They sneak up on you. Or, if they manage to get hits in like that, they can combo attack quite a bit. It's rather irritating. Especially when they don't give you any loot and very small EXP. Bit of a pain, really. There's not a lot to be found back here, I don't think.
Oh, ここを開けやがれ。こそこそと隠れてんのは分かってんだ。おとなしく投降しないと痛い目見るぞ。聞こえてんのか。ああ。
As if you wouldn't kill him anyways, I suspect. You don't seem to have spared any mercy for any of the people here besides them, so...
どうか動かないでください。傷に触ります。
いや、行かねばならぬ。族どもの中に忍び狩りの僧兵が混ざっている。あれは手だれを。どうしても私が行かねば。
無理です。この傷ではとても。
This is telling you, hey, there's a spooky mini boss up ahead. Be ready.
誰ですか？
族ではない。
あなたは若様の。あ、よかった。忍び殿、族どもの目的は若様です。あやつらはすでに竹林坂上にいたり、お屋敷に火をかけています。若様の脱出も叶わなかったご様子。お願いです、忍び殿。若様をお救いください。これをあなたに託します。どうかお役立てを。
承知。
Move on. Now, that person gave us something. This person.
お主、若様の忍びじゃな。ああ、肝心な時におらぬとんだ役立たずめ。
Where were we
いや、
anyways?
もしやお主賊を手引いたのではあるまいな。さもなくばこの平田屋敷がこうもあっけなく落ちようものか。そうよ。そうに違いない。
Yes, they seem to have had an inside informant.
いねえ。裏切り者はいねえ。
Perhaps it was us. We don't seem to remember this after all. Or perhaps not. Although what we were doing here, what we were doing before is a little suspect. Hello.
よう旦那、あんたも火事場泥棒ですかい?
He's the only side character I actually really like. He's the only one with a story that actually got to me at all.
何か探し物でも?
So we'll be doing his side quest.
まあ何にせよ、ここはあっしが先に見つけた場所でさ。よそを漁ってください。ああ、そういえばどっかの崖上に三重の塔が見えやしたぜ。あんだけご立派な塔だ。きっと中にはお宝がしまわれてるに違いねえ。あっしならそう思いやすね。
What he's saying is that there's a secret pagoda somewhere on a hill with a lot of good shit. By the way, you can attack this guy. Most NPCs you can't hit. You can't damage. The attacks just sort of go through him even if it lets you attack them. This guy you can actually kill. If you kill him back here, he doesn't survive into the real timeline. Which does somewhat make me wonder if this was, or another, I shouldn't even say make me wonder, it's another reason I'm kind of convinced that this was one of the first areas they worked on, if not the first. Because this is one of the only that actually allows you to attack them, like classic Dark Souls. Anyways, we're gonna have to dilapidate temple. Because we got 2 more prosthetics. We need to fit them. Or should I say get them fitted? No.
狼殿。
Did I? Okay, yeah.
では。
戻ったか。あれは夢なのか、そのことなのか。さてな、
夢かうつつかわしにも定かなことはわからん。一つ言えるのは仏様はお前さんの古い記憶を起こしてくださっているだけじゃ。
Thanks, Buddha.
お前さんがどう思いどう覚えていたか、すべてはそれ次第じゃ。
見るものすべてが正しく起こったことかはわからぬ。
そういうことじゃ。
I think we're gonna have to settle for getting about halfway through the estate tonight. Running out of time. Oh, it's not the end of the world. Strength of the loaded axe lies in its heft. One strike can easily turn a wooden shield into splinters or shred an enemy's posture. Deals fire damage to enemies via short-range blast of fire, while also inflicting burn status. It is difficult to control the rage of those with red eyes through the powers of man alone. They do, however, fear the flame above all else. This tool has the power to make them tremble.
その忍び義手、随分と腕
Fear
に馴
the
染んで
old
きたようじゃ
flame.
な。お前さん、これを取っておきな。
Tight Smite. Written by a man who abandoned the path of shinobi but could not bring himself to discard his painstaking research. He never expected to pass these on to anyone else. Yes, this is techniques made to be used with the prosthetic, made by the sculptor
お前
himself.
さんの牙でどう噛み殺すか、それが書いてある。要は忍び義手を使った戦いの術じゃな。
わかった。
まったく義手の忍び技などもはや無用と思っておったが、わからんものよな。ではまあ。
At this point, with only a little bit of piecing together, we can tell that from the item descriptions, the sculptor was once a shinobi known as Bounding Monkey of the Sunken Valley, or whatever it was. At some point, he lost his left arm. He replaced it with a prosthetic. Apparently used the prosthetic in killing a lot of people. Potentially, or at least developed techniques to be used with it. And has killed quite a few people and has been left with a very big karmic debt. And now he carves Buddhas. Lots of Buddhas. But they all have faces of wrath. We'll learn more about him, perhaps, as we go. In the meantime, let us continue. This next fight is a doozy. But we did the, having already done Ashina Outskirts before this, we should be fine. I mean, I can, at this point, I should be able to do it pretty reliably even without it. This is a fight that still even now gives me at least a little bit of trouble sometimes. Ah, stagger. Fuck. Losing a big chunk of HP is not ideal. God, that attack is fast. It's like the one attack you actually have to watch out for with that guy. Actually, since we just got 2 levels, I think we're gonna rest and heal. And perhaps more importantly, that's wrong. Acquire skills. Ah, you need 3. You also have a decent amount of money at the moment. And if you die, you lose half your money, so let's try not to die. Which can be arranged. We have ways of making that happen. This time we weren't seen. Almost forgot. We're gonna need the axe. Just this time. kill this guy first because Axe Boy's a lot harder to deal with. This guy's gonna call allies and then just be killed. We try and get that guy with the backstab, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. These guys will just block any attacks with their shield and take no damage. And will often retaliate. And are a right pain in the ass to deal with. As you can see. But, if you were to say, use the axe, they just kind of die instantly. Yeah, the amount of damage that does is just pure motion. Let me show you what defeating one without the axe is like, because it's a right pain. God, that's fast. Yeah. And remember, that was after he was at half HP too. It takes a fair amount to get them. It's not fun. They're annoying. They're really annoying. Okay. Now here we're gonna go sneaky sneaky. There's a guy over here, and you can see the mini boss's little spear over there. I'm gonna try and take this guy out without being seen. And then rush. Oh, God. Okay, we got it. Camera? Why are you trying to lock onto the guy I'm not facing? Anyways, we do not want to fight this guy and his ads all at the same time. This is awkward. Separate him. The ads won't respawn if you reset the if you reset his aggro, the ads don't respawn. But he'll get his health bar back that we got away from. Ah, the range on that is so irritating. And I love just popping out into the middle. Heal up. We readjust wrist brace when we have the time because it's falling off. Now we have a 1v1 fight with one of his health bars gone. Mikiri is really good for stabs. You know what this guy does a lot of? Stabs. Nothing to it. Having another attack power and Mikiri counter helps a lot. We'll press on. We have a lot of money. Best try not to die. Oh, excuse me. Big yawn. If we had the upgraded Mikiri counter, that would have been a little bit better even, but oh well. With our high attack power, we manage. You can go in the water, by the way, and we will go in the water, by the way, first. That was a little strange, but this run's been sloppy so far. It's been very sloppy. We also haven't completely cleared out the first area yet, but we'll come back to that. There's not really much of a point. But treasure card. Treasure cob scale. Sparkling scale from a treasure cob. To the average person, is just a beautiful scale. But there are some who exalt a certain master, who consider these scales among the most precious things in the world. For this reason, collecting them could be worthwhile. Interesting. Now, let us proceed. There's an item over here. And my, this bamboo does not look a mighty bit odd. Tutorial. For a different controller than I had on the moment. Okay. Now we can see Senor Pajama Ninja up there. This fight is not the easiest. We'll make it work. That can be Mikiri countered if he's not missing. Oh god. Got him. He's actually quite nasty at this point in the game. This is a challenge fight. You don't have to do it. It's difficult to even find. And the reward is something that you honestly will have no use for at the moment. Or possibly ever. Mist Raven Feathers. A bundle of Mist Raven Feathers. If it is a shinobi prosthetic, to create a prosthetic tool. In Usui Forest, far to the north of Ashina, lives many mysterious birds of prey. The Mist Raven is the only one to have eluded capture by all who have tried. Should you somehow find it, you'll find it gone. Only feathers in your grasp. How interesting. How spooky. And we have a nice vantage point now. You don't have to do that, but I don't like letting him get away. These guys fire rather quickly. Oh, come on, let me... If you get into the death blow animation, you avoid all damage. But I was just a mite too slow. We're actually making pretty good time. Maybe I'll finish the dream after all. We'll see. But yeah, it's doing wonderful there. Fuck you. You suck and you don't matter. We proceed. That's the reason I don't like letting that guy get away, is because then he joins up with those jerks over there. And that section gets a little more interesting. Also, there's no way not to be noticed there, but you can still get one of these guys. And then depending, you can also get... I accidentally opened my Steam friends list there. Because shift is sprint, and tab is prosthetic. You can block that swing if you want, but it's way simpler to just avoid it, because it's gonna damage his own posture bar by doing that anyways. And we can move on again. And we're so dummy thick that we smash everything just by running into it with our fat ass. What do you have to say for yourself, Owl? He has quite a bit to say for himself.
お前か不覚を取ったこのわしも置いたものだ手当てはよいこの傷ではもはや助からぬそれより狼よこれを
Key to the hidden temple in the Hirata state given by the owl. Secret temple is located in the very back of the Hirata state. 2. The Lord is absolute. Defend him with your life. If he's taken, bring him back at any cost.
これはお屋敷の隠し仏殿の鍵よ。巫女様はそこに。だがこの火の手じゃ正面からは入れぬ。
I can see that.
崖外からならば。そうじゃ。あちらから外へ出て崖沿いに進み霊園から回り込め。さすれば抜け道が。わかりました。狼よ。
The Iron
忍びの掟は忘れておらぬな。はい。主は絶対狼よ。命を落としてお守りさあ。
Oh no. Weirdly gigantic ninja dude. Father, you can't die.
左手へ出て霊園から間を任せくだ。
Also, by the way, remember what I said? Yeah. This is what happens when you try to attack an NPC. I'll show it off with the next time there's an NPC I can try to attack. Sword just goes right through. Yep, 2 on fire, can't go. Must go sideways. First time I did this, I saw parts of the... I was like, oh, there's a part of the wall with no fire on it. I landed on it and then took about 200 billion fire damage in a second. Because that's kind of just what happens. Splash. Pain. But the fall damage in this game isn't too high. Also giant fish. Or is that a treasure carp? I forget. We're just gonna ignore it. Because I think it's just a giant killer fish. But we don't need to be in the water. So why do we need to care? Answer, we don't. He's very busy inspecting these, gravestones, I think? And this guy over here is waiting in ambush. We have played this game before, and thus are not fooled. Gotta make sure to take that guy out. You don't want to deal with a shield jerkhead. Reflector not on point. Okay. Excuse you, I'm a Akiri. Akiri can be very finicky. Also, these jerks, with their really fast attacks, can be a raw pain in the ass. Unfortunately, this leaves us with no gorge for what comes next. We'll just have to play well is all. Now up ahead is the way forward. Back around here. We'll aggro this guy. There's also a little secret over there. Comes. Yes, it's a mini version of the mini boss we just fought earlier. Dies easily enough. What if I were to tell you that's not quite all that there is here? Also, you can hop out of this place and be like, hey, I recognize that bridge with the shield assholes on it. I know where I am. I don't think there's a lot you can go to from there, but hold on. Yes, over here we have just straight up the mini-boss, but without the second health bar. I remember sneaking past him somehow one time going through there. I'm not sure how I did it. I've never been able to replicate it. Fortunately, Mikiri counter kicks his ass. Down here is you get a lot of money from him, as well as some pellets. And the Gokon sugar, but no one cares about that. You're here for that money bag. Nice ragdoll. Through here. Get caught in his ambush. But that's not hard to avoid. And another one of these. There are very few spots to actually even use this in the game, so enjoy it while you can. You can run around here to see that there's not much. But the way forward is there, and there's an idol here. I shouldn't, but I think I'm going to finish up the dream. This increases Mikiri posture damage, so we're going to grab it. We may or may not get Shadow Rush. I'm deciding how I want to use my skills this time around. We are going to get this, because this is real nice to have. Honestly, some of these are quite useful. Too slow. You can get some sneak attacks from up here, potentially. And while we are going to do that, unfortunately, there's not a lot you can actually get. Especially not without being spotted. It's honestly, you're going to drop down, you're going to be seen almost immediately after. Just how it's going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get priority target Axeman over here. Or we're just going to run past it, because fuck this. Because why in the world would we ever be allowed to get a backstab while using the back attack button while behind something? Also, why would camera ever make sense? That's just silly. Look at you standing there all arrogant. Yeah, there's another Axeman, but we'll deal with him in a second. Go below first. I don't like these guys just because I'm impatient. And it's not always entirely clear how much or little they will hurt. Medicine for burns. Except dousing... Wait, does dousing even remove burns? I feel like the dousing medicine doesn't actually even remove burning. It's really pointless. You never use it, pretty much ever. Burn doesn't even do that much damage. And usually you get inflicted with the burn before much of anything else. Now, you're supposed to go through there. There's a friendly samurai over there, but... why would you do that when you can be a sneaky little ninja? Makes much more sense to do it this way, if you ask me. Remember, you want to play like a ninja in this game because you are a ninja. Don't run into the front door. Take the back one. Don't pick pointless fights. Use your incredibly fast speed to your advantage. Pick fights. Take out one guy. Find a favorable skirmish. Go to the kill. Get fast. Back up quickly. Hopefully you can get this guy. Okay, got the death roll off, although we did take a bit of damage there. Separate the fat boy from his ally. Off. Discombobulate. That's facing the wrong direction anyways. Grab the item. Run like a little bitch. Dramatic slide. Accidentally touch the fire and take a shitload of damage because fuck everything. He turns his back. And he comes right back in. Switch to the act. Get fucked by the camera, then get the axe. Deal with his last health. Bait out an attack. Get this guy in the fight. Prove that you're a useful distraction. Get 360 no scope by a fat boy. Try to dodge something you had forgotten for a quarter of a second. Iframes in this game are dog shit, and you need to just deflect. And then finish the job. And it's that easy. Because why fight him normally in the middle of all his goons when you can play it smart? Yeah, can't say much. You can attack, you can betray him and kill him if you want, but we're not going to. Because there's not really much of a point. And there's a lot of dead people in here. Lots of dead people. Also, before we get that idol, before we talk to that person, we're gonna ram through the door and clean up these. There's an item here. There's there. But more importantly, there's one here. By the way, yeah, these were a very recent addition to the game. You would have no way of knowing this would be a hidden path and how to activate it until you got later in the story, then you would likely come here. And even then, it's not very obvious. And behind here, there is some money. Divine confetti. And the important one, the most important one by far, a prayer bead. I suppose it's a 3 of 4. If we had continued even a little bit outside of, or ahead in the story, to beat one more mini-boss, we could have a full another vitality before fighting the boss of this area. But we're not going to bother. Any skills I want to get? I do want Chasing Slice. I don't think I have enough for anything else. We rest. Now we have 2,000 sen. 2,000 sen is actually a fair amount. If you are a new player at this point with this amount of money, about to fight the boss, I would say don't. Go spend it. You'll probably lose at first. Also, we're gonna go back and talk to the woman now. What was? Blood?
若様がお屋敷の奥に。わしのせがれが伊之助が向かったゆえ無事と思うが。
This is the old senile mother,
は
by
ぐ
the
れ忍
way.
びよ。念のためじゃ。お主も若様をお救いに
Only
行って
3
お
years
くれ。
ago, she really went downhill, I guess. And then here's the son, who has lost his eyes. Hence the blindfold.
そなた
When we meet him
若
again.
様のこの先へ行くのはやめておけ。恐ろしき現実よ。種ならしがなければ
That's a lie.
破れぬぞ。
It can be very easily overcome with a
これ
sap
を
seed.
わずかだがそなたに託そう。
Which is fortunate because he only gives you one. We're not even going to use it. We are going to use our patented human and killer technique of Sekiro. We're going to hit mouse 1 to attack until we hear a loud clanging, and then we'll hit mouse 2 to deflect. And we'll hope it's not a sweep. Because I have trouble reacting in time to a sweep.
母上。少女よ。みんなどこへ行ったのだ。
He's under the effect of the
Miko-sama.
illusions.
現実か。
久しいな。フクロウのせがれよ。
お蝶殿、言ってください。
そなたは。
なすべきことをなすのです。
Do what must
わ
be
か
done.
りました。
That phrase comes in mildly important in its own way later.
さて、やろうか。
No talking,
せがれ
no
殿。
being like, why the hell are you here? What the fuck are you doing this for? Just, we fight now. This teaches you, hey, did you know that enemy posture recovery slows down when their HP is low? This will be very important versus bosses. Just so you know. God fucking, will this stupid display stay on? Apparently not. It is pretty old. It's seen its fair share of use. But still.
お蝶殿、何よ。
さてな、惑わば死ぬるぞ、せがれ殿。
Oh, come on. I was damaged by her fat ass. Hit. Hear a loud clang, so go for a deflect, lose the camera. Almost get hit by the sweep. Oh, come on. Can't believe I missed that first one. Is it queuing up my actions? Because I did not go for an attack on that one. Yeah, it's queuing it up. That's a grab. I believe I missed that one. But as you can see, our technique is rather effective. Plus, we're not at one hit, one strike.
せがれ殿。
And she appears up there. This is the real one. Supposedly. Unnecessary shuriken there. Old lady against the wall. It's in a bit of a nasty spot. being caught by the sweep. This gives her time to summon her illusions, so now we run around. Probably a little dangerous. These things will chase you down and kill you if you're not careful. You want to just run around. It unfortunately lets her get in posture, but she clears them. We run around again. Because light lasers are about to fall from the sky. Now I can go back to the usual fight. Once again, her fat ass is too powerful. Granny here still thick. God, Granny. Can't actually block the light thing's damage. Oh, I'm gonna get hit. I don't know why I tried to get her there. It was a bad idea. Catch her when she lands. Get fucked by the camera. Finish the job. Not between us by any stretch. I've done way better. Fell apart a little bit at the end there. But not bad. And you can see how the technique works. The Phantom Lady Butterfly was a seasoned practitioner of illusions. Thanks, mate. Pale pink crystal residue known to form an immortal oath fails to establish. An immortal oath, eh? Allowing one additional resurrection. To repeat the vows of the undying and be awarded resurrected power once more, surely necessitate of a divine child of the dragon's heritage. Well now, where do we go from here? A cutscene. The Buddha falls over. Fucking dead. We were stabbed in the back by an unknown assailant and left in a burning temple to die. Who could have done such a heinous thing? But this is how we obtain the power of resurrection. Divine child. Digs into the burning wreckage to share, to give you life. He's a good kid. And I think that is a good place to stop. Next time, we'll continue to avoid Genichiro. See you then.